Good morning, this is Deborah Matthews, the Vicar of Verwood. Today is the first Sunday of Advent, when we enter the season of preparation for Christmas. I don't know about you, but I have really noticed that the nights are getting longer this year, with the darkness having had more impact upon me. Perhaps that's because I'm more concerned about switching on lights and turning on the heating due to the energy crisis and its ensuing costs. But this midwinter season is always a time when we think about light in the darkness. It's one of the times in the church year where we think about preparing for the coming of Jesus, which is for Christians what Christmas is all about. But rather than focusing only on the first coming of a baby in a manger, we also look at what it might be like when Jesus returns to gather up all those who turn to him. Well, Advent is also a lovely time of year because we enjoy the carols and the cards and the lights and the trees and the presents. But the season delves much deeper than these things into what we are looking for. What is our hope today for ourselves and for our families and for our nation and for our world? In the church, we begin thinking about these things by going back to the beginning, looking at the faith of the ancestors and the prophets, Jesus' forebears, and we read about what they hoped for. Beginning with Abraham, the ancestors knew that God was with them, and they listened to God and taught their descendants, helping them to trust in God and to carry the hope on. The prophets were sure that God would send someone to show people the way to live and to show them what God was really like. And the prophets believed that this Messiah would be special. He wouldn't be a king in the normal sense of the word. He wouldn't be powerful in the way that the world was expecting, but he would hold all the power of mercy and compassion and love, which would be more powerful than anything that anyone else could imagine. And this Messiah had been the one who was hoped for across the centuries, but no one knew when he would come. In the New Testament, we hear from John the Baptist, who spoke of judgment and warned the people to repent because he believed that one more powerful than him was to come. And so when Jesus came to him to be baptized in the Jordan, John recognized the Messiah in Mary's son. Preparation for Jesus' return is a major Advent theme. But no one knows when Jesus will return, in the same way that no one had known when the Messiah would be born in the first place. When we talk about Jesus coming again, we know about the patriarchs who long for God's kingdom. We know about the prophets who hoped for the Messiah, and John the Baptist who pointed to him, and Mary, the young Jewish girl who birthed and mothered him. But we don't know when Jesus will come again, or how that will be. In his Gospel, St. Matthew tells us that we must keep alert and be ready and waiting for Jesus, who calls us to let our lives be a witness for others, so that through us others will learn to be his disciples. Advent has become one of the busiest seasons of the year, but for our own well-being, we must find time and make some space for ourselves, away from the busyness and the anxiety which surrounds us as we approach Christmas. Let us put our hope in the light that shines in the darkness, in the one who brings us peace and calms all of our fears. God bless you in these weeks as we prepare for Christmas.